had a hard time of quieting my brain when I do things, not just practicing mindfulness or doing homework, sports, whatever. Like teens' minds wander, you know? So how do we get rid of all of these thoughts going around in our head and like focus on more important things?
You don't get to do that. That's a myth. That's what I call, I have a little thing in I have an ebook called Ethical Mindfulness. And I have this section called Mindfulness and Its Mythology. You don't. The mind wanders. Get used to it.
That's true.
You know, it's like, you know, there's an old story of like, you know, there's an old story about training an elephant where they talk about like you have this huge elephant, right? And so our mind's like a huge elephant. We got to keep it in control. And so like if you put an elephant in a field, it's going to wander all over the place. But if you tie the elephant to a stake in the ground and you put a 50-foot rope on him and you put him on like a leash, he stays close. Now, the truth actually, even if he does that for a while, you could actually take the rope off the elephant and he'll still stay close because he thinks he's still got that leash. So we want to do that to the present moment. Our minds, and William James, the psychologist, wrote about this in the late 1800s. The mind wanders. There's nothing you can do about it. The idea of clearing your mind, mindfulness is not about clearing your mind. It's about changing the relationship that we have with our mind. Like I was, how old are you?
I'm 14.
14. So I was 19 on my first meditation retreat, 10-day meditation retreat. And on day 8, I went to see my teacher, and I said, I'm leaving. I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is not working. And I said, I don't understand why I'm doing this. And he looked at me, and this has stayed with me over the years. He looked at me and he asked me, he said, is your mind a friendly companion? And I said, no, my mind is not a friendly companion. He said, that's why we do this. We do this because we want our minds, we want to have a relationship with our mind that feels like your best friend, that has your back, that listens to you, that supports you. We really want to see our minds as a relationship, not these things. My mind wanders and I need to get rid of that. No, that's just going to be part of it. The key element, the fundamental of mindfulness, is bringing your attention back from the wandering mind. So it's recognizing that your mind wanders is the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
You see the mind wander and you go, oh, okay, and now you bring it back. That's what mindfulness is all about. It's not about keeping the mind from wandering. It's about bringing it back when it does.
And I've read, and I know you know that mindfulness is helpful to a bunch of different situations. And what do you think the trick is to like intentionally nurturing our positive mind states like kindness and compassion? Do you think that we can figure out how to do this like within ourselves, with the mind?
Well, this is harder. So if you look at meditation, like, I'll do a little demonstration for you with my bowl. So like we did, basically when I talk about meditation, there's two things. There's the object and then there's the attitude. So if I have this if this bowl is my breath and this is my attention, so my object is to pay attention to my breath, right? To not let the mind wander. But what happens? The mind wanders. Uh-oh. So when I bring my attention, what kind of an attitude? Do I bring it back with judgment and go, oh man, I'm such a crappy meditator. I stink at this. I stink at everything. I'm no good at sports. That's not a kind attitude. Mm-hmm. So it's all about when we make a mistake or we don't do well in life, we say, okay, my goal is to be mindful. I'm going to live in the present moment. That's just the object. And that's important. But the attitude is, okay, so I'm doing this and then this happens. Now what do I do? Do I judge myself? Do I blame myself? Or do I come back to the moment with it? I should be celebrating this moment because this is actually mindfulness, because what I'm doing is I'm recognizing, my mind wandered. Mm-hmm. And instead of judging myself, I should be like the cheerleader, going like, yeah, man, like I got it. I caught my mind. I busted it. It's like when you catch the dog peeing on the rug, he looks all like he's busted, right?
Yeah. You're
catching it. And now you say, it's okay. It's not a big deal. Everything's cool. We're just going to come back. I made a mistake.
Yeah.
Because I think one of the things you haven't mentioned is I think that everything you said about being a teenager is true, but I also think that teenagers are tremendously hard on themselves.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, that's where your power lies. Your teachers may be hard on you. There's not much you can do about it. Your parents may be hard on you. Society may be hard on you. That's not going to be something that you can really have a lot of control over. But you really want to be look at what is the relationship you have to yourself. You want to improve. So kindness starts with you. Are you kind to yourself when you make a mistake? Are you compassionate towards yourself when something difficult happens? Are you grateful towards yourself when you do well, you get a good grade, your sports team does good, or that's really what you want to focus on, is your relationship to yourself, because that's the one relationship you're going to have for your whole life. That's your primary relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Friends come and go, family members, come and go. We sometimes, I have family members I only see once a year. I gotta see myself every moment of every day.